Can you explore the Maldives for a week with a $1,000 budget? The answer is yes. If you think this island paradise is out of your reach, think again. In fact, the Maldives can be one of the most affordable beach destinations to visit if you know what you're looking for. Did you know you can travel to the Maldives on a budget? Welcome back to another episode of Feetpin Travel. Join us on our journey around the world as we share our best travel tips, guides, and amazing experiences with you. If you're not a part of our community yet, hit the subscribe button now so you never miss out on our latest and greatest uploads. Remember, we travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at exploring the Maldives for a week with a $1,000 budget. Let's get started. Stay on a local island in the Maldives. In 2009, the Maldivian government made it legal for residents to open local guest houses and hotels on inhabited islands. Therefore, tourism is still in its early stages in the Maldives, with the exception of private island resorts, the first of which opened in 1972. Locals now have the opportunity to start B&Bs out of their homes or open hotels and increase their incomes. For a while, visiting a local island required a guided tour. This is definitely not the case now. The difference between a local island and a private island in the Maldives is that locals live there. On a private island, there is typically one private resort for tourists, and they have the entire island to themselves with the resort staff. Local islands will have a wide range of populations, and depending on the size, they have schools, stores, and a varying number of hotels and restaurants. Other differences? Since the Maldives are strictly Muslim, local islands will likely be devoid of alcohol, require more modesty in public, be much more affordable, and provide better cultural exposure. You'll see mosques and hear the call to prayer multiple times throughout the day. Admittedly, you may not turn down a luxurious stay in an overwater villa on a private island. But if you have no problem with drinking smoothies instead of piña coladas, covering up unless at a designated bikini beach, it helps prevent sunburn too, and getting to see paradise for a fraction of the cost with the added benefit of getting to know the locals and see how they live, who wouldn't want that? Finding cheap transport. Transport is also cheap. Local ferries run on a somewhat infrequent schedule but shouldn't cost more than $2 to $4 for a 3-hour journey. You can pay 60 cents for the ferry from Mali Airport to Male, $3 for the ferry from Male to Mafushi, $4 for the ferry from Mafushi to Folidhu, and $2 for the ferry from Mafushi to 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐞. If you want to visit a resort, you'll have to pay for a speedboat, as the local ferries don't stop at the resort islands. These speedboats are very expensive. You may be quoted $280 per person return trip for a 45-minute journey, or $200 per person return for a 10-minute journey. One possibility could be to turn up at the nearest local island and ask around to see if a local fisherman will take you across on his boat. We've heard it's possible to arrange a transfer from 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐤 to 𝐦𝐻𝐤𝐤𝐤 for a $40 per person return trip. But given that the resort was only 6 kilometers away, this is still pretty pricey. Avoid the seaplanes if you're traveling on a budget. These will usually cost around $500 return for a 20-minute journey. Cheap food. Food will set you back around $5 to $10 per meal. But with most guest houses offering an enormous free breakfast, you might just find yourself skipping lunch and only paying for dinner. You can complain about spending $5 a day on food. In general, the smaller the island, the fewer food options there are, and you'll likely be eating at your guest house for most meals. On Folidhu, one of the smaller islands, you can be charged $10 for dinner whether you order chicken fried rice, curry and rice, or a gigantic fish barbecue. For a busy island such as Mafushi, there are plenty of food options. There are maybe a dozen restaurants on the island, all offering reasonably priced dinners. You can expect to pay around $5 to $10 a meal for fish curry and rice, fish and chips, tuna fried rice, lots of fish-based meals. Value for money excursions. The cheapest way to go on an excursion is to book it through your guest house. Don't be afraid to shop around for prices though. Wander into 4 or 5 guest houses and ask for their prices before you make a decision. Also, check to see what's included in the price. Some guest houses will include lunch, water, and a soft drink, some won't include any extras. If you're interested in knowing how you can dive in the Maldives on a budget, if you decide to dive through your guest house or arrange it through a dive shop on a local island, you'll be looking at paying around $100 for 2 dives. The cheapest option for diving in the Maldives, however, is doing a live aboard trip. Other options for excursions include lots of snorkeling trips. If you're lucky to be visiting during manta ray or whale shark season, you'll be able to arrange a trip to see them. You can expect to pay $50 per person for a half-day snorkeling trip. It's pretty pricey, but it will also be one of the best experiences of your life. Amazing visibility, thousands of tropical fishes, and even adorable sea turtles swimming alongside you. Most guest houses will also arrange fishing trips, $50 per person, or day trips to the resorts, $50 per person plus a $30 per person entrance fee. You can also take trips to the sandbanks, $25 per person, and go island hopping around the atoll, $50 per person. Great and affordable for digital nomads. You may be fully expecting to spend your time in the Maldives offline due to unusable internet. However, you may be wrong. On Mafushi, internet speeds are around 6 megabit per second download, 3 megabit per second upload. They are a bit slower on 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐤 and 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐤, but marginally so. Getting a SIM card in the Maldives is simple. It costs $3 for the SIM card and $14 to top it up with 1.2 GB of data. From experience, you will be shocked to discover that you'll receive a data signal everywhere you go, even during 2-hour ferry rides across the open ocean where you can't see land in any direction. We guess that's what happens when there are no tall buildings to diminish the signal. Working and traveling in the Maldives is therefore easy. Wi-Fi speeds are faster than I've received in many guest houses around the world, and data is very reliable. Cheap accommodation. The first thing to note is that there aren't any super cheap options for accommodation. You won't find dorm rooms in the Maldives or a crappy $5 a night bungalow on the beach like you would in Southeast Asia. You will, however, find over 100 couch surfing hosts. Couch surfing may not be your jam, but if you're up for spending nothing on accommodation, check that out first. Aside from couch surfing though, there are still plenty of budget guest houses, and they're surprisingly good value. For $30 to $60 a night, you'll receive a clean, modern, and spacious room with air conditioning, a hot shower, free breakfasts, snorkeling gear, a bottle of water each day, twice daily room cleaning, and fast Wi-Fi. The rooms are seriously nice, much higher quality than the rooms you'll stay in other parts of the world at that price. The easiest way to find cheap accommodations in the Maldives is through websites such as Booking.com. Simply search for hotels in the Maldives along with your travel dates, sort the prices from lowest to highest, and then start researching. Alternatively, you may find Airbnb to offer just as many accommodation options on the local islands. There are over 300 guest houses under $100 a night and 120 under $50 a night. So definitely explore the different options available. With that, we've reached the end of this video all about exploring the Maldives for a week with a $1,000 budget. Did you think it was possible to visit the Maldives for just $1,000 per week? Or do you guys know of any other great money-saving tips whilst traveling? Get involved and let us know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this video and found it interesting, remember to leave a like on the video so we know to make more for you. Also, subscribe to Feetpin Travel for even more amazing travel content just like this video. As always, thanks for watching. See you again soon in another episode.